Sublime magnificence.
Hey guys, you know who it is, what's going on, when it's happening, where it's at, and why we're here today. How you doing? It is I, the sublimely magnificent Big Ugly himself, Omari Ellis Feo Grande on YouTube, back with another episode of This Guy Hasn't Seen. And as usual, I am joined by my co-host and runner-mate, one of my best friends in the world, El Director himself, Joe Bill Smith.
Hey Omari, thank you for having me. As always, it's I don't know about down in Florida, but it is cold up here, and one of the best things to do when it's cold is get all snuggled up and watch some movies.
True.
So I'm glad to have this at my disposal because I'll say it again. There's just too much out there to watch. There's too many choices, and I am someone who is paralyzed by choice at times. And so having this little movie club where we trade things back and forth is a really great time.
Yes, sir, indeed. And this week we traded stuff back and forth, and this time it was one of my times to trade something. We decided to have a little fun. Where we watching a video game movie. We're watching 2020s, apparently. That's what it said, right? 2020? The year that movie came out?
2020, yeah.
2020s. One of the few things that was at least somewhat remembered fondly from 2020. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog from 2020, rated PG. After discovering a small, blue, fast hedgehog, a small-town police officer must help him defeat an evil genius who wants to do experiments on him. It is directed by Jeff Fowler, written by Pat Casey and Josh Miller, and it stars Ben Schwartz, James Marsden, and Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Omari, do I even have to ask you why you've seen this movie? Why you chose this movie?
Well, Ben Schwartz, he was never quite, Chris Pratt famous or whatever.
Yeah.
He did some roles. No, in all honesty, I watched the movie because of Sonic and the fact that Jim Carrey was in it. And I think I've gone on record on this show, if not on other shows, saying that Jim Carrey is one of my favorite actors, like just growing up and stuff. Very influential. To some degree, yeah. I'm not going to be like, oh, I studied the way he does it in,
If you haven't quoted Jim Carrey specifically on this series, I'm pretty sure we've talked about you, The Mask being an essential movie for you.
Very much so. Yes, The Mask is one of the formative movies.
And so what about Sonic? I mean, video games is another big slice of the pie that is Omari.
So, Sonic, I am a person who likes Sonic. I have not played Sonic nearly enough to be considered just percentage-wise of how much I've consumed of Sonic content. I wouldn't say I am a Sonic fan. But I really do like some fucking Sonic games. I liked a lot of the older stuff. I fell out of the fandom, if you will, around when 06 came out. And I heard it was terrible, and then I saw it and saw that it was terrible, and just was like, eh. And then it got followed up by 3 or 4 more bad games, and I was like, I still like the old school Sonic. Is that Sonic Adventure 2? Sonic Adventure 2? The music in that game, you know how much I played that game? There wasn't even achievements back then, and I almost 100% at that game. Yeah, so, I liked the music, I liked a lot of the older Sonic games, but a lot of the cartoons and TV shows I hadn't seen. I know of them and stuff. I know the 90s one. I know there was a 90s one that had Jaleel White as Sonic's voice. But apparently there was also another one in the 90s I don't remember which one was Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog or Sonic Hedgehog this, but then they've had other stuff like Sonic X, Sonic. I'm not sure if Sonic GX is a thing, but Sonic Boom, Sonic Forces, and stuff like that. Yeah, Sonic Boom. Yeah, good old Guile shit. But yeah, so I did want to see it, but watching video game movies, I had learned going into that they are very seldom good. Not to mention this movie had the horrible PR incident associated with their original idea for how Sonic looked.
Right, of course. I forgot about that for a second. Of course, we're going to talk about that.
The movie
a full trailer came out. The movie was done, by all reports.
Yes, the movie was done. They released the trailer, and their artistic direction for Sonic in this movie, well, I mean, people didn't like it. Let's just say it was not good.
They attempted to go more humanoid, like more what would be in the three-dimensional world that we exist in.
Which is part of the problem that made video game movies so bad over the years. They took the video game movie and went, now how do we make this not about a video game? And forgetting the fact that movies are also, fiction. They don't have to be realistic.
Yeah.
But Sonic, here it is, and they did that, and it just clearly looked like it would be more of the same. And the fan base, and which is another reason why I'm like, I don't know if I want to call myself a fan of Sonic, but there were some people that took that way too far with their juxtaposition. I'm talking death threats. That was unnecessary. You don't need to death threat somebody for an ugly picture. That said, the studio delayed releasing the movie and hired someone to come in and fix the way Sonic looked. Now they fixed the way they fixed the character model and everything, and then they had to re-rig the model for all the scenes that he would have been in, so it did take like a lot of time. But they also did I saw like part of the things they were showing, they threw in some like animations that he did to be like kind of like subtle game references, because I think they got a fan or somebody to come in and do the new model. I think. I could be entirely wrong. But the bottom line is they did that and then they released it. Allegedly, that was all they changed, was the model for Sonic. Everything that happened in the movie is as planned for it to happen in the movie. But I was like, okay, well, I went and watched.
I just pulled it up while you were talking. It looks awful. It looks awful. Like, he looks like a creepy little demon creature. He does. Like, it's such a better choice to just do Sonic. Like, yeah, he's cartoony and he's ridiculous, but the movie has it already set up that he's coming from a completely other realm of existence.
Yeah.
Like, you're fine. We're all okay. We can make that leap in our brains.
Also, the fact that you would risk killing it that hard too, because them releasing it with that old model, it doesn't make nearly as much. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's going to try to.
It makes almost nothing.
Yeah.
It makes almost nothing. People hated that trailer.
Yeah.
They hated it.
Which, I'm a person
that felt so bad because, like, as you mentioned in the beginning, folks, Omari was doing an impression of me off camera because I am a huge Ben Schwartz fan. And during all of this, I knew that he was so excited about this, and then that that trailer dropped, and I was like, "Ooh, oh god, Ben, sorry, my bad, dude. That sucks for you." And then all the backlash started happening, and I was like, "Oh god, it's gonna be so bad." But
Yeah.
then they changed it.
Then they
They
changed
changed
it.
it.
That they did, and that that's the main, and that caused other Sonic fans, people who, because I do have some friends who are super into Sonic. Like I'm talking, every version of Sonic One that gets re-released, he owns it.
It's honestly, it's an insane thought. It's an insane thing that they even thought to do it because, like, now you're looking at all the post-marketing and, like, obviously, Sonic is front and center in all of the poster like, he was getting teased out at that point.
Yeah,
Um, but, like, in the post in, like, the DVD that sat on the shelves at Walmart, like, it's Jim Carrey's head and then it's Sonic being super Sonic-y right here, big on the if that was that ugly ass thing, it wouldn't it like it makes obvious sense that this is Sonic.
yeah, and now there are people out there that go, graphics aren't everything. No, okay, look, I agree with you. Graphics aren't everything, but you have to realize that they definitely are something. Okay, they are something, and they are an important thing. They don't have to be the best, but they damn sure can't be the worst. You don't need good graphics to have a good game. Terrible graphics can kill your game no matter how good it is. Take Marvel versus Capcom Infinite. They showed that ugly ass Chun Li model when they first had it come out. I say ugly ass with hyperbole because that's how it was received. Immediate. That's gotta. Oh my god! You see how ugly that game is? I ain't fucking playing it. Like damn. Just its first trailer, they saw Chun Li's face and they weren't having it.
Oh god.
Anyway, so yeah, you gotta if you're gonna have a character that's this the face, especially they face, you can't fuck it up if it's an iconic face. And Sonic has an iconic face, but Bill, you hadn't seen it.
No, I hadn't because it just fell. It got put on a list. And it even got downloaded at one point and sitting on it got recorded or something, and was just sitting, waiting, ready to watch for years. I don't know why we never ended up pulling the trigger on it. It was just we always just chose something else, and then it becomes quicksand.
Yeah,
The farther away you get from it, it's just it just keeps getting deeper. So yeah, I eventually just put it on the back burner, and it's never really come off. And then before you know it, a second one is coming out, and I still haven't watched the first one. And it's like, oh, you better watch the first one if you because I've heard I've heard things like I've heard best comedic Jim Carrey performance in years kind of statements.
hmm.
Um I have heard like oh yeah kind of vibes. Uh
Yeah, I'm listening.
I know. If anybody happens to be watching this, you look weird. I'm just being honest. You look weird.
Sorry, folks at home. I tweaked something in my shoulder apparently, and it went like across the collarbone, so it just kind of hurts right
Why
now.
did you do your shoulder again?
Whatever I did re-aggravated it. All I was trying to see is if I got the notes I took earlier in an email on my phone. I went to do it. I bumped my arm. The like shockwave from it just. That's why I dropped the phone. Like, as you started your thing, and oh my god, don't get old, kids at home.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Um, yeah, and so yeah, I've heard some things on it, but Just never took the plunge.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, anything you were expecting coming in? Or did you kind of cover it?
No, well, I didn't. I've never really heard much in detail. I've heard things positive about Jim Carrey. Um, I've heard it. I know I've heard that it's heavily teasing a second film. Uh, when we're at the end. Beyond that, there's the recent trend of first movies of movies that companies know are going to be a multi-movie thing where like I'm probably wondering pre-watch I'm probably wondering quite a bit if I'm going to see Sonic really be Sonic. Like, how long am I gonna get to see Sonic run really fast or something? Is that going to be halfway through the movie?
Because some movies do that,
Like,
yeah.
yeah, all right, so he doesn't roll up into a ball and hit somebody until like the very end of the movie, kind of thing. That's when he's actually Sonic,
Yeah.
and then we're on number two. And we kind of get that a little bit with like the shoes. Like the shoes is is the one thing where it's like he's not Sonic until
He gets his
the little
shoes.
girl gives him the shoes. But other than that, it doesn't really hold to those stereotypes.
Yeah?
But yeah, other than that, I wasn't. Yeah, I was expecting an origin film.
Gotcha. So, with that, guess we'll just hop right into it.
Yeah.
Initial reactions as the film gets up going.
What is the very first thing here? What is the
in medias res, if I remember correctly? You're kind of wondering how we got here. Kind of wondering how we got here.
Right. Yeah.
Just so right off the bat, he's running really fast while Robotnik chases him in a very Robotnik-esque vehicle.
I had forgotten all about. That's where I was skipping. I had forgotten all about that, and then I forgot all about it while watching the film, and then Jen goes, "Okay, so here we are again," and I was like, "Oh right, we had that." Why even have that thing? Why did we need the thing at the beginning? We didn't even really need it. I guess.
I think the idea with a lot of the things in this movie and even the next is Sonic is from the 90s. So we're going to have some tongue-in-cheek, extra cliche things in here as well. Like you're kind of wondering how we got here. That's funny. Stuff from the past. It's like, okay, cliche, you kind of wonder how I got here thing. But it's cheeky because it's Sonic, so seems like something he would try to do anyway. Type of deal.
Right. That makes sense.
But yes, the concept of showing people in the final fight and then going back to be like, this is how we got here. It's like, it works and it also at the same time. But now any other tension you have in the film, I know you make it to the other part.
Right, but also at the same time, it's like it's Sonic and we're watching Sonic.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to make it to the end part. What is it like? Little baby Sonic is adorable.
Yeah, it goes back in Long Claw.
Baby Sonic.
Who I'm not sure if she's from the games or not. She's not from any games I played. But again, I said I stopped at 06, so calm down.
She called Sonic her son.
Yeah, she's like an adopted son or something like that. And then she's like, "Yes, have these rings. That we're gonna work rings into the movie in this fashion."
Yeah, and don't you portals. Know every advanced civilization travels this way, according to Sonic. Every advanced civilization travels this way.
Yes, and all of a sudden the fucking echidnas show up out of nowhere, just ready to murk her. Are we gonna find out why they murked? No, no, they just did. They just like, run, Sonic, the echidnas are here. Why? Run! Get out of here. I don't know.
Is that some sort of lore thing?
Um, if Longclaw is part of Sonic's lore, it's not a part I know. That's what I was getting at. I have no
The crew
idea.
attacking.
Oh, this whole origin story, I'm not sure because I think there's different things to it. Like some things say that Sonic is an experiment by Robotnik. Some people say they have nothing to do with each other. Some people say, Robotnik's first name was like Dr. Kentober, and as he went insane, he became Robotnik. Kentober being Robotnik backwards. That's the Archie comics, I believe. That was their origin story for him. Like the Sonic Archie comic, because I think that shit's still going on. That shit's been going on fucking ever. I don't know all the lore for that, but that shit's gone in and out and up and down. So I don't know what the deal is with Longclaw or the Echidnas for that matter, at least with this first movie. Stuff in the second movie is a bit more, let's lean more into the video game thing. Let's put in more references to the video games. Let's treat this like it's a video game movie, which started what appears to be the trend now where people are like, oh, it's okay to make a video game movie like the video game.
Yeah.
Well, shit. Who would have thought? But yeah, this first one, they're still, they still want to have their own little world of how this works. I tried searching earlier, like, is Longclaw from is she? So it's just like Longclaw is a character from the Sonic movie that we adopted Sonic. Okay.
I mean, well, hell, they tried to fucking change Sonic. They flat out tried to change Sonic. So I mean.
Yeah, and like I said, she could be something from some random comic out there that they decided to incorporate. I haven't done the research. But she did. So he escapes and goes to Earth. Karma, I suppose. He escapes and goes to Earth, and he eventually lives in the town of Green Hills, which... There's another video game reference. Green Hill Zone, the starting zone of Sonic 1. And the stage they always make references to.
Right.
So Green Hills is where they live. And he just kind of lives in that town as he's like getting old. I think he tried some other planets and they didn't work out well. And then Earth was the last one that he had aside from this mushroom planet. Because he tried going to other planets to live on, but I don't think any of them really had people.
He has an order that he's supposed to go in by the owl. He goes there, he lives until he gets caught, and then when he needs to leave, he's to jump to whatever. So the next planet in order is supposed to be the mushroom planet.
Gotcha. Yeah, and. Yeah, but obviously he likes Earth more than the mushroom planet.
Yeah.
So yeah. But he's running around doing shit around the town, and we meet our main character, Tom, played by Cyclops, who's a cop, or James Marsden, who played Cyclops in the old X-Men movies.
Yeah. The Donut Lord.
The Donut Lord, because Sonic sees him talking to donuts.
And then eats them if they get out of line.
Yeah. Because he's a cop in a town, in one of those small towns where nothing bad ever happens. So he's not feeling like he's doing too much aside from like babysitting a city. Like, okay, no, it's all right. You just put your stuff over there. All right. Yeah, bye. Thanks, Sheriff. But obviously, Sonic's running around the town. There's a fun scene where he picks up a turtle and like carries like, you're going on the ride of your life. At the same time, I'm like, that turtle probably is happy to be going that fast or terrified. And then once it gets put down, how far did Sonic just take that turtle from where it was trying to go?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's never going to see its family again. It has to build a new life. wherever it's at now. 100%.
Just picturing someone just bigger than you just walking up one day like, sup, buddy? Huh?
And just running you to California and then setting you down.
And then it just zips away, and I'm just here now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's funny.
Anyway, yeah, there's a town, there's a crazy guy in town who's seen Sonic, calls him the Blue Devil. And they have a lot of the classic, let's mention some things here that we're gonna, call back to later, just as little in-jokes and stuff like that. Things that people are calling one another and stuff like that. But eventually, and yeah, Tom wants to get promoted to go to San Francisco, a city where he can do some real copping. And
the whole human side of this plot is so dumb. It's so dumb and not thought out at all. It's just like it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
he wants a promotion to get away from his boring life. And then he gets
Who's to say it's a promotion? We're not told about it being a promotion. We're just told that he's going to work as a cop in San Francisco. He's just a sheriff in a random small ass town. San Francisco's he's probably gonna be a beat cop in San Francisco. Like it doesn't make any sense. You live that place is gorgeous. It doesn't make any sense at all why it's San Francisco. Your wife is a vet with her own vet business. She's going to have to pick up and move. Also, when she travels to San Francisco for the weekend, she flies with the dog.
She took the dog, but left him behind.
Well, because the dog would be an anchor for him when he has to play with Sonic. He's supposed to play with Sonic this weekend. But it's just like I'm flying with Oz to San Francisco this weekend to look at houses. So
I was wondering what that was about. Who's Oz?
And then when you see her over at her sister's house, the dog runs up and he refers to, and I'm like, oh my God, she left with the fucking dog? Like, who does that? He later refers to it as his dog. It's his best friend. She went to San Francisco for the weekend and she took the dog, and the sister even has a line about how she hates the dog. So you intentionally flew here to stay at your sister's with the dog that she hates when your husband was staying at home all weekend. The human plot makes no sense in this movie. There was just something like a committee.
I love the detail.
Decided that a third of this movie has to take place in San Francisco.
And has to involve, the fucking humans. Do they need something to do it? They need to be in San Francisco. But why?
Well, yeah, I'm sure that's how. Like they had already decided. It's gonna it starts in the mountain village, and they're like, all right, well, we gotta go somewhere else. It's gotta switch up. Where else are you going? And San Francisco. We got a tourism deal with San Francisco right now. So yeah, he wants to move to San Francisco.
I gotta love those product placement things.
It's beautiful. You have the best job ever as a cop, and you want to go to the most rapidly deteriorating city in the nation, because they just have too many people, and you want to move into that. It doesn't make any sense. In the year of a pandemic?
Oh yeah, speaking of product placement and deals that you got, I don't have any apps on my phone. But except Olive Garden. When you're there, you're family.
Yeah. The other portion of it was literally just a commercial for Olive Garden. I don't remember where it came up again. It was like towards the end or something. It was just literally like they were starting. It was a commercial for Olive Garden. It was insane.
Yeah. No, that movie cracks me up sometimes. But yeah, eventually Sonic though, he's chilling around the town and he sees people playing baseball and he starts playing baseball with himself. And then he realizes he's alone by himself, and then he just starts rage running in a circle.
He's lonely, Omari.
Yeah, but he's rage running in a circle. I understand that. I'm just he's lonely, and then he runs so much that it causes like a super duper EMP. It's like an EMP, but even stronger.
Yeah,
that blast off from him.
He goes a ways. He even takes out a satellite,
which is ridiculous. So you get to see him go fast pretty early.
Oh yeah.
Really, really fast. But this obviously gets the alert of the government, and they send in a guy, he's a weirdo dude. Yeah, but he's the smartest person in the world. Blah, 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 blah. And of course, this is where we eventually get introduced to our villain, Mr. Jim Carrey, as Dr. Robotnik, aka Dr. Eggman for the folks at home. Japanese name that they eventually, in the Sonic Adventure games, started calling him here too. But apparently he's been Dr. Eggman the whole time, which is why he's got a lot of egg-themed shit in the games. Even in the old games, it's like, oh, the giant egg, colossal egg, battle egg, da-da-da. Why so much with eggs? Like, oh, because he's Eggman. I see.
Yeah, okay. It's kind of shaped like an egg. We'll take it.
Yeah, right?
All right.
Anyway, Dr. Robotnik shows up, and it's Jim Carrey, and it's the first time I watched it, it was nostalgic a bit to see him doing his weird eccentricities. And as watching it now, it's like, I still enjoy it, but I don't know, the first scene, I still wasn't sure what I was thinking when I first saw him, because I'm like, what is he trying to do? Is he just trying to be... But I like the performance. I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't. I very much enjoy the performance. It caught me off guard the first time because I hadn't seen him do that in a while. But as the movie went on, especially, and he embraced more and more of his Jim Carrey-ness, I was fine with it. But yeah, he has his intro scene. He's pretty much taken over the Sonic thing. He's like, I'm never wrong. I'm the super duper genius. I never lose nothing. Look at my fucking machines. I love machines so much because you can just program them to do shit because humans is stupid.
Yeah. I love his relationship with his assistant.
This is stoned. Do you know why I don't like... You know what the worst part is of being the smartest person in the world? Everyone else in the world seems stupid. Yes. Like, where's my latte? Yeah. Would you like a latte risotto? What do I look like, an imbecile? I make a latte. I love the way you make them.
That's the line. I love the way you make them.
So yeah, eventually Robotnik or Sonic, sorry. So weird not having the damn notes. Anyway, he tracks him down to his cave. Sonic's like, oh shit, I got a GTFO. Yeah. But he hears the drones nearby and he's like, I can't use this ring in the cave. Although I think he would have been fine because they were still outside of the cave. But the plot needed to happen. So he needed to find another place to use this ring. And in doing so, he eventually sneaks to the one person he knows, the person he's been observing the most, the Donut Lord, Tom's house. And he's sneaking into the back, or he's sneaking into the garage. Tom hears something out there, thinking it's a raccoon or whatever, takes a tranq gun and shoots him.
Yep.
Wakes up just in time to find out Robotnik has found them at the house. And I also kind of like the little back and forth that developed between Tom and Robotnik as the movie goes on. where Tom's more of the haha witty retort kind of smart dude, and like, come on. Spitz is the guy from the so-and-so. So you wanna stop treating me like an idiot type of guy, while Robotnik clearly is the everyone's an idiot to me. So they're both condescendingly trying to talk to one another and restore, like, they're not gonna mesh well to begin with, personality wise. Stop talking to me like an idiot. You are an idiot. I'm the smartest person ever. And obviously, while he's trying to play it off, oh no, Sonic makes some noise inside the house, and eventually everybody meets each other, which I thought was funny because he's like threatening him with the fucking egg drone, like, you're gonna tell me where the fuck this hedgehog is.
That was crazy. It was crazy.
He's like 3, 2, and then Sonic jumps out. Don't do him. And he just screams. Which, thinking about it, yeah, that is not what you were expected to pop out. So yeah, that's just as justifiable a response as, yes, that's what I'm looking for. No, you don't know what the hell you're actually looking for. You're like, something's doing, and this blue thing just pops out. Oh god.
Yep. Yeah. Put about like several hundred bullet holes in your home. So that was nice.
Yeah, he's out here for blood.
He absolutely decks him. And then they just drive off in his car. Like right past the government agents, and it's just all cool.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, he was driving off, and I was thinking that you should stop him. No, I was thinking that I should come in here and look after you.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I can see
here
why
we should go
he's
into
mad.
more like just like standout moments.
I'm trying to jump ahead. Like, I'm just like,
No,
what
you're
happens
not,
here?
bro. You're literally
I'm not
taking
every detail. I could be more detailed. I'm just trying to remember. I don't have my fucking notes in front of me, so I'm trying to say.
So like, yeah, the next big thing is going to be the cowboy bar. So they're on the road on the lam now, and they're trying to become friends.
Yeah.
And the Sonic gets the one direction, stay in the car. And to his credit, like, we get, like, because everybody obviously that gets said, and every audience member, every viewer who's ever watched a movie is like, he's not gonna stay in the car. And then to his credit, they like he really has to be it. Like, it is the most insane thing possible for him to have to get out of the car. He is clamoring, and finally breaks it. But it's just like a honky tonk bar.
But he just seeing all the like motorcycles pull up. But yeah, gets found inside and eventually gets the concept of a bucket list or whatever. And they decide, what the hell? Bucket list, chill here. Oh, also, they're together because he dropped his ring bag and it's in San Francisco, and they got to get to San Francisco to get it. Yes. Right. That was the thing. Anyway, so they're like, why not do this?
With the train dart.
Yeah. Like, okay, so anyway, let's do this. We're gonna chill at the bar, and eventually he ends up pissing off a lady, which starts a bar fight, and then we get our Quicksilver moment. That just has to happen in every fast movie now. Oh, you got speed powers? You got a Quicksilver it. And so he does that where it's pretty much a time stop. It's not even I'm moving fast and everyone's slow motion. It's just...
Yeah, I mean, every time one of these movies does that, it hurts my brain. It's like, wait, but how is time slow for...
Like, how is it frozen? It's one thing if everyone's moving slow, as the
Right.
scene's going on, and I kind of like that because I think at least the second time they
But
did
that
it
means
with
your
Quicksilver.
your superpower involves the perception of time as well as you being fast.
Well,
Like
you kind of has to.
you running super fast does not just mean that you automatically are going to see the world like it means you're going to see the world in blurred color lines as you're moving super fast. Like
Unless you have that just built in as part of the power, you operate time's fine for you where you're going, regardless of what speed you are. You know what I mean? Which is where everything else will move slow because you can perceive the other stuff. Does that make sense? No, I don't know.
that's
This is
what I'm
why
saying.
I
It hurts
don't-
my brain
this is
because
why I
all
don't
of
do
them stop.
superpowers.
They fully stop and like, let me just readjust this guy's glasses and
Yeah,
put
that's
his finger in his nose.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
And-
That's time freezing. That's just straight up time froze.
Well, I mean, that's the same thing Quicksilver does in the X-Men movies.
Well, I'm pretty sure one
What I'm
of them,
saying.
like, stuff still, like, if something was flying through the air, it's still kind of slowly moving.
Right, but no, I'm saying like Quicksilver himself
Mm,
is just like
yeah.
he's basically standing still, and like I don't know, it's the song is still playing at a normal speed. To hear the song, it hurts my brain.
But yeah, so he has his little moment. It's cool because fast. They escape the bar and they're like, haha, friendship. And then they have to get their, conflict when Sonic finds out, you want to leave Green Hills? Much like you were saying, this place is awesome. Why the f would you leave? I thought, you think you know a guy type shit. And Dr. Robotnik traps him down. They have an encounter with the truck on the highway. Sonic does his spin dash attack for the first time in the movie.
There we go. Yep.
And
That's a pretty cool sequence. That's a pretty cool sequence there.
Sonic has so many fucking like robots inside of robots during that scene. He's
Right. No, yeah, that's the bit. Is that yeah, there just keeps being another robot. Finally culminating in the sticky robot that they can't let go of.
Mm-hmm. And that explodes.
Is that what completely knocks him out of
Yeah,
the game?
that's the explosion. Like
So
they finally take him off.
he's gotta run to
San Francisco.
the lady who just happens to be a vet.
Yeah, right. And Sonic claimed he was a hedgehog, so maybe she'll know what to do.
Right.
And as we mentioned, her sister hates him.
Which why? That's the other thing. Like again, it's like they intentionally made every human plot stupid, unexplainable.
Yeah, she just does
Sister
not like that
hates
man.
This incredibly, just remarkably subjectively handsome man who happens to be an incredibly kind, nice sheriff of the most beautiful fucking mountain town you've ever seen in your whole life. And he seems to be a very good dude on top of all of those things. Like, what is your issue here? What is your issue here? On top of that, he's wanting to move the two of them to be in the same city as you. So
Yeah.
you'll be with your sister more. Is that the problem? Because it seems like you hate him before all of this, and you still hate him after this. In fact, you hate the move. You hate she's so frustrating as a character.
Pretty much. So they tie her up.
The daughter doesn't even listen to her.
Nope.
I don't know if there's a
Don't
single
tell
moment
your
where the
mama.
daughter is conscious of her mother's lines and receives them, internalizes them, and responds to them. I don't know if that happens once. I'm just now realizing, Omari, the mother might be dead. It might be a ghost. She might be a ghost in the movie. Shout out, kind of in the same podcast adjacent world that the voice of Sonic, Ben Schwartz, came from. I'm also a big fan of Adam Pally,
Mm,
and he was Wade, the deputy
okay.
in the small town, who's he's got this just like little nervous energy role, um, which I enjoyed him in that. I'm a fan of his,
Mhm.
so give him a shout out. But yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid. The human plots in this movie are stupid. This movie would be so much better if it was just more Robotnik and Sonic. I don't know why we need this whole human plot.
I agree. But that's like I said, this is them still trying to feel like they can't make video game movies about the video game. So they're like, we gotta have the human character so people can relate. No one's gonna relate to a hedgehog. Not
He's
like
blue.
it's not like Disney's made movies entirely about animals that people had no problem relating to. Anyhow, yeah,
So
so
it's at this house after he wakes up.
then he
The little girl happens to notice that he has ran directly through the soles of his shoes, if you could even call them shoes. His foot wrappings.
he toted things up.
It's-
Like,
So she's like, "Hold on, I'm gonna be back." Goes off. Just happens, of course, to have the perfect size red sneaker. Perfect Sonic signature classic sneaker.
yeah, that
He
was
is
a cool
officially
moment.
fully Sonic.
Yep, he got his sneaker, and now it's time to find the rings and climax the movie. So
Should be a really simple process, right?
yeah,
It's a set of magic rings that can take you literally anywhere,
correct.
and he knows exactly where they're at. He has super speed abilities.
Yep.
This should be really easy, right? Job done.
Yeah. And of course, they get up there. They take forever for him to leave because they want to do the.
First, they take an elevator up there, and they have to play a trick on the building to
Oh,
get
yeah.
up there, just so the humans could be up there. Like they have to lie to us and tell us that we have not seen Sonic run vertically up walls already in this film. Sonic turns around and goes, "I don't know how I'm gonna get up there. Oh, it's on a balcony way up high, completely accessible
My
to the
only,
open air."
my only thought is if you wanted to justify it, especially because of the scene that comes after where he's like, I'm really gonna leave. It's more just I want them to be with me as long as possible.
Right,
I
he
can't
didn't
go
wanna
up
leave.
there. Come
Yeah.
on. Be on the elevator longer.
I guess that's true.
As opposed to a lot of the other stupid stuff in the movie.
Right. That's probably accurate.
But they get up there, and during all their stalling, oh, look who it is. It's the Eggman, Dr. Robotnik, who already had his awesome little dance scene just to himself, where it's just like, hey, Jim Carrey, be Jim Carrey for 3 minutes.
Yep.
So that was cool. And that's what leads to the latte thing. Anyway, he comes in here with his new powered up thing using a quill of Sonic's to get like super duper power. And we have our climactic battle between the two of them where he's chasing them through the city, fucking explosions and the shit, and dodging and weaving, and it gets back to that. So that's how we started. And they wrap it up. Eventually, they take the rings, escape back to Green Hills, but get attacked in the process.
Bounce everywhere in the process.
Yeah.
They go all over the fucking place.
Yeah, there are a lot of rings users. And then they finally end up in Green Hills. Looks like he's about to lose, but then the townspeople see Sonic. They see the sheriff. They do their little, this is New York City, but I mean, Green Hills, you know what I mean. The fucking New York
right.
moment where every movie that takes place in New York has to have a moment where the citizens come out and go, You don't know what you're dealing with. This is New York. Yeah! Get him, Spider-Man! So they had their moment with Green Hills,
Yeah.
and the crazy man, and that's the Blue Devil, which everyone can see. I did not make up.
That was hilarious. That was funny. Yeah.
Which I don't blame him. I would say that too. If I've been saying it for years and y'all calling me crazy and I got a chainsaw now, like he's gone through some things. Trying to prove this creature exists. Anyway, they get their little moment. Sonic eventually, like, I'm the hero. I'm going to protect this town. Get out of here. Charges up. Knocks him into a portal to the Mushroom Planet. Robotnik's defeated. Everybody happy. The couple adopts Sonic. And
Right. Yeah, the couple adopt Sonic. Yeah, that was sweet. That got me a little bit, just because that was a sweet one. At first, it was like we could clearly see that it's still very daylight out. You're like kicking him out of the house, telling him he's got to go home and go to bed. What? Why is it bedtime already? But yeah, that was just a ruse to tell him that his bed is now upstairs. So yeah, that was a really sweet moment. I did like that.
Yeah, they adopt Sonic. Robotnik is going crazy on the Mushroom Planet. Throwing a rock around.
And it would any normal man would be stuck here forever, but I'll be out Christmas 2023 or something like that. Or
did he say
I'll
something
see you
like
Christmas
that?
2022.
Oh, is that what he
Something like
said?
that.
Something
Yeah.
like that? Okay. He said, I'll be out probably sometime around Christmas or some shit.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, that's cool. Clearly teasing a second movie, because I mean, they knew if it was a success, 2 was gonna get greenlit instantly, because it's a highly popular IP.
Yeah.
And then I think there's an after credits
There is.
where a portal opens up and out comes a familiar fox with 2 tails. Mr.
They
Miles Prower. Ha ha ha. Tails.
What?
Tails is his real name, Miles Prower. Or Miles per hour.
What?
That's his name. Miles Tails Prower. Like miles per hour. Because speed.
I get all of that. Just saying he doesn't have a real name. His
Yeah, he
name is
does.
Tails.
That's been his name since he showed up.
No. I am saying now that his name is Tails.
Yeah, good old Miles. Nothing's wrong with the name Miles. Anyway, Miles per hour.
Weird. His buddy's name is Sonic.
Yeah, which is also speed related.
Well, I know, but you can't be Sonic the Hedgehog
And
Miles Teller or Miles Prower.
Yeah, miles per hour.
No.
How many miles per hour are they? Nah. And then Knuckles, who's named that because he's got things on his knuckles.
He's gonna punch you. Who is
And then Amy.
voiced by Idris Elba?
Oh, in the next movie, yes.
Is that right?
Yes, finally confirming in a lot of fans' thoughts the theory that Knuckles was black and all along anyway.
Yeah, see, that's where my fandom initially would have dropped out.
Mm-hmm.
The last Sonic game I ever played was Sonic and Knuckles,
Fair enough.
which I think is the 3rd one.
Yeah. It's like the... Apparently Sonic 3 was supposed to be like a super long game, but they couldn't fit it all like on the cartridge. So they made Sonic 3 first half, Sonic 3 released, and then later released Sonic and Knuckles. And if you put the cartridge, and Sonic and Knuckles had a thing where you could put the cartridge on top of it. And if you put the Sonic 3 cartridge on top, you play the full game, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And it's like 2 games in one, but it's like the full length of what they wanted it to be.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah, he debuted in 3, and
But yeah, I
it was
mostly would have played 2.
gotcha. But it's also funny because like in the Sonic Adventure games, like all his stages were like rap music. It's hilarious, just the whole time, just rap songs. So it's like, yeah, Knuckles is black, and then he just elbow voices him into live action. So people are like, "Told you,
Confirmed.
confirm."
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Um, yeah, I am surprised. There might have been some in there that I missed. I'm shocked there wasn't more overt references to the music. I feel like Sonic's music is legendary in Sonic fandom.
Yes, I personally really wanted to hear Robotnik's song from Sonic Adventure 2, but I
Is
know
that what they're
why.
waiting for? Are they waiting for the second one because the second video game is the music that everybody thinks about when they think about Sonic music?
Mm, the second one has more references to the games, but it's still not the music thing I wanted. As musical as I would want it to be.
Right.
I
Okay.
feel like I feel like Sonic One, and I'll wrap this into like my final thoughts as well. I
Yeah.
feel like Sonic One showed film like things, including Paramount, that hey, we can make it's okay to make video game movies and actually listen to the fans sometimes about what they want to see. We're
Yeah.
still gonna do our thing, but you know what? Let's do a little bit more of it with Sonic. So let's try a little bit harder with Sonic Adventure 2. Not Sonic Adventure 2, but Sonic the Movie 2. And they do it. It's solid. It's a solid movie in and of its own right. Um, and yeah, they have a little bit more things where you go, oh shit, this is pretty much reference to game. Like the Chaos Emeralds get mentioned, the Master Emerald, shit like that from the Sonic lore gets mentioned a lot more in the second movie. So they try to go a little bit more. The organization gun from the Sonic Adventure thing shows up in that movie. So there's
Okay.
stuff like that. And then the third movie, because yeah, spoilers, there's a third movie in the works. Um, Based on the end of the second movie, it's probably gonna go for even further with like stuff based on what they teased at that.
Okay.
Oh yeah. But yeah, that led to Mario and them being like, yeah, we're gonna cast somebody different to speak for Mario, but we're gonna pretty much go heavy. Well, let's just go full animated. Fuck it. Let's really make it like the video game. And that got a good reception from what I've heard. And while I was upset because of the Chris Pratt Mario thing, it's just you hear a character talk the same way for 30 years. Anybody sounding different is going to hit you weird. To be
Right.
fair to Chris Pratt, now that time has passed and the shock has worn off, and also realizing that part of the reason they didn't use Charles Martinet is because he's not Mario anymore, even in the games. Like this Mario Wonder that came out is the first game to have someone not be Charles Martinet as Mario since the 90s, or since Mario talked, I'm pretty sure. Damn
Yep.
near since Mario had a voice at all. It's been this guy. And then the guy also went on to be, he took over for Luigi at one point, was Wario and Waluigi as well. For a job he got on accident. Gotta love those. Like, what am I here for? Your voice of character Mario. Just, this is me, Mario. Yeah. Woohoo. Yeah. What the hell did you send me for? Wait, they want me back? Yeah, congrats. You're Mario.
It was something random that
Yeah, it
the
wasn't even
first time Mario ever speaks was something very random, like a
Mhm.
commercial for like a Mario brand cereal or something
Something
random ass like that.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, Sonic movie. What did you think?
So yeah. So I the human elements of this really drag this movie down. It really does. Like it's not a bad movie, but it could be a good movie. Um, but it becomes a bleh movie because of James Marsden and his wife and all of that. And like I want Sonic to not want to leave Earth, but it doesn't need to be you don't need to establish the human this hard on that whole best friend connection thing. I mean, it's just
Yeah. Which,
the good parts of this movie are Jim Carrey doing Jim Carrey stuff, and then when they actually do Sonic versus Robotnik stuff,
mhm.
and then Sonic doing Sonic stuff. Everything else, I'm just waiting for the other stuff to happen. If I'm honest.
That's fair. And what I will, semi spoiler about the second movie, the humans are still around.
Oh yeah, okay.
They got, as you mentioned, they didn't need to establish them that hard, and I think because they established them that hard, they can't not include them
Hmm.
for the people for the people that the executives included them for in the first place. People are like, oh, this movie has humans in it. Oh, okay, I'll watch it. Usually video game shit don't make sense.
They're his parents now. Like, have we age stamped Sonic?
In this movie, not really, but I think he's like 15. Usually, he's around. He's like early teens,
Okay,
early mid teens.
okay. Yeah, it's just okay. Will I ever go to Sonic 2? Probably not. Probably not. If you would have told me that they hit all of those slapping basses
Look,
from the music
yeah. If
and
all the music was the same, I would be singing its praises even more. Like I said, I like the second movie, but if I'm honest, it has the same flaw the first part does, which is the human story.
right.
Even though there is less of it and there is more interaction with, Sonic and spoilers, Tails is in the movie, um, and stuff like
And
that, and the
Knuckles, right?
robotics and Knuckles. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's more stuff with those characters than there are with James Marsden and his wife, but they're still there, and they still are there more than they need to be.
All right.
But the climax of the movie is, I think, really cool and really had me like, damn, this really is them embracing the fact that it's a video game.
I mean, that's probably how I'm gonna end up watching it at some point if I ever do watch it. Is clips on YouTube or just scrubbing through it one day.
Yeah. Well, that is that. So what
Nice.
are we watching next week, Bill?
It is on me.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are going. I wasn't fully prepared for this. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
I didn't think about it. I'm let's vamp a little bit while I look. This is the sound of vamping. Check that out because we did it a couple weeks ago.
My name
Are
Vampire.
going to
I'll take you higher. What the?
go
Go. Could have had it all.
Let's see. Still too early for that.
Oh, indeed.
Well, see, you did something fun. I don't really. Do I have fun? Do I have fun? We're gonna go. We're gonna do something fun. We're gonna do something fun.
Fun.
We're gonna do something fun.
Okay.
It's old.
All right.
It's old and it's old, but it's fun.
Oh, but it's fun.
We're gonna watch Some Like It Hot
Ah.
here, and this guy hasn't seen.
There we go. Some like it hot. And if you like it any way you wish, we got plenty of things here for you. Here on this channel, you can check them out. You can also find me elsewhere on YouTube under Whatever We Want.
We got
podcast.
2 words for you.
Yeah. Anyway, we even have a wrestling episode recently. Yeah, we also have a show on Saturdays called You Don't Watch Sports. 2 of us talking about sports, being your guiding light through the sea of sports conversation, help you sprinkle some information into that sports conversation. That's right. And you can also find me elsewhere on YouTube on the Whatever We Want podcast. New episodes every week, every Wednesday. I do that with a good friend of mine, good friend of the show, Super Jazz.
Super Jazz.
Thank you very much. As nature intended. Yeah, we talk about just that, whatever we want. I also have a Twitter and Twitch.
You're getting those backlogs. Watch that wrestling draft. It's a tasty one.
Oh yeah, we got some.
Skip into about 20 minutes into the video. That's where the real meat of the draft goes.
We got
Before
some
that,
wild takes.
It's just the 3 of us talking nonsense at each other.
No.
But then the draft gets going at like 20 minutes in, and boy, yeah, it's some wild stuff goes on.
Let me tell you about.
Sorry,
Let me tell you about
Giotavi spelled
Giotavi. Come on in. Stop on by. Yes. Yeah. Numbers 3 and 4 put you right in the mood for the whole draft.
Number 3 I respect. Number 3 I respect all day. Number 3 I respect all day.
You're right. Number 4.
Number 4. We can't go on this too hard. Or I gotta glasses up. Yeah, number 3 I respect all day long.
I will agree with that.
Number 4 is insane. It is insane, and it cost him the rest of his draft. You did not establish a big heavyweight. Your entire company is relying on the back of a man who has only worked professionally for 3 years. We all love MJF. But he's only been on television for 3 years, my friend. You're going up against giants. You're going up against Hall of Famers. Get it together.
All right. Well, that's what Bill's got to say this week. Let me tell you. We'll see you next time with Some Like It Hot. Adiosness.